This is the impression. Mm-hmm. They need like super accurate impressions to make the aligners. So we use two different like putty material. I mean, two different impression materials. All the same like material, but the different. Like this one's whole putty, and that one's a regular body. And the putty tastes like.
Tastes good.
Yeah, this one has a flavor to it actually. So I get the putty. Gets like the general shape, and then you go back over it with this blue stuff, which is regular body. The light body's too light. The regular body though will get high detail, and then you go back in like this, and at the end you can't have any little. You can't have one bubble, one void, anything. It must be perfect, otherwise they'll reject it. But the materials are pretty good. They usually like there isn't. Every once in a while you take one over, but. You learn not to send them in with bubbles. They waste time. They'll actually look good. You don't have to shred it too much. It just it makes the it border molds the muscle like if you were to go ooh ah ee or whatever. So this is what you have to do. This is the setting up for Invisalign is pretty simple. Impressions, pictures, and X-rays. Unless you're a gagger, then the upper impression that's usually the difficult one. But you define the lower one's easier. People don't gag them.
Can you show it?
We're back to she's mixing the putty right now. It has to be mixed by hand because. I think it's the latex that affects the putty, so you have to take a spritz of the hand sanitizer and you must mix that barehanded like that. You have to mix it pretty quick too, but you must be barehanded because I think the latex. So it's on the directions. Yeah. But I mean, if you go to a restaurant and you eat a salad or anything, trust me, someone touched. They washed their hands, but they touched it. Barehanded. So everything's sterilized and stuff. Usually the sterilization is because the instrument was used in someone else's mouth, but this, everyone's like, is that sterile? Well, your mouth really isn't sterile either. It isn't. Well, it's not like surgery where your body cavity is supposed to be sterile. So if they missed the tray, we'll show them again as it comes out. But the putty goes in first. I don't let it set fully. I let it set to till it's semi set, and then I put the blue in. And I found that I have the least amount of voids that way. Like this one came out pretty good. See, very detailed. And you can see even in your impression that you have it's pretty narrow. It's a narrow arch.
Yeah.
So, and then when you look at your bite, when you bite, you can tell it's a deep bite, meaning that when you bite down your front two teeth, they basically cover the whole lower tooth, and that's it either it has the effect of having like a worn dentition or on Bucky Beaver, but even though they're not that big, they cover the whole lower teeth, so that's the appearance that it gives off. So that's pretty accurate already. And then you put the blue in, and it gets even more accurate because the aligners fit intimately. So you must take very accurate impressions. Yeah, it's hard to get back in sometimes when there's a little excess material, but then you learn. And your lips are pretty. Not everyone's are. You'd be surprised. Like they don't stretch much at all. You have to learn. Yours are semi. pretty tight. The muscle's it's called the orbicularis oris, the muscle that runs around your mouth that like lets me pull or whatever. And everyone's is more or less extensible. Dr. Rose got a new watch over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yep, it's cheap. It's quartz. It looks cool. Don't copy me. They are. They're like, I bought a bunch. I bought inexpensive, cool watches that.
I got mine too.
That's very pretty. But that's Michael Kors. That's name. These are. I don't like watches that copy some other watch, like a knockoff. I'd never buy a knockoff. But if it's original, if it's cheap, doesn't mean it's not cool. It's original still. You know what I'm saying? So it's original, but it's also quartz. It's not automatic. That's also what makes it less expensive. You know, an automatic watch has lots of gears inside of it. So, I'm not even going to tell you the name of it. It's just cool. Everyone will buy it. Then it's not cool. Open. I'm a big internet shopper. I don't have patience.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it
Oh wait.
you have an undercut, like the way the ridges. I don't mind you recording all this because I'll get it out. There.
Oh.
Voila. Sharp. Good. See how it yeah, especially those fun little teeth. See how every little zigzag there's not a single right.
You gotta show that.
Yeah, you may not be able to get enough light in there because it's all the way. Turn that light on. Let me have that.
Oh yeah. No.
You might be able to see it.
Yeah.
When you get the light in there, you have to get every little detail.
I'm gonna get you some clients.
There you go. Then you take a bite. This is the bite registration material. It says rather quick. Open up. I like to practice the bite because everyone seems to all of a sudden bite in a new way when you take the impression, which is obviously you want the bite, the regular bite, not like the one like, hey, like when people act on camera, it's like act natural, like to pretend the camera's not there. It's the same thing that happens with the bite. All of a sudden you're like biting, they're like, yeah. So bite down for me, and that's the way I want you to bite when I put the material on. Okay. Open up, there you go. Try to lay an even layer of it down. This is like their they should be able to put your 2 miles together without this bite down, but this is I guess is just making it a little more idiot proof, and you can let your lips touch over that even. Okay. And this is I think that's our last step for today because I wrote down a couple notes also, which I'll put in the box. You have a narrow arch, a deep bite. But however, to leave the midline alone, and that's a big deal because in order to move the midline, sometimes it requires many teeth to move in one direction to make the midline in the middle. Luckily, your midline is in the middle. So, well, yeah, this material is one of those things where if you get it where you don't want it, just leave it, and then when it sets, it comes off rather easily. Open up, and then that records your bite. So they should have no trouble putting the models together, you know.
Right.
Like if they use your bite, let me see here. Good. So bite down, even though like it's a little canted this way, but it's pretty close to the middle. So I think if they straighten up the cant, we'll get close to the middle. If anything, we need to move the midline maybe slightly to your left.
Will I have to get buttons in the front?
The attachments, the Invisalign company when they're creating your case. Usually, I write down in my notes if buttons can be avoided in the anterior that I try to, but you may need to, especially if they're going to try to pull this canine down a little. Yeah. There's no way without...
Well, I'm talking about in the front two teeth.
Oh.
Over here, I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully not on those two anterior teeth, but I won't know until I submit your case to Invisalign. And then they know my request is not to do it, but there may not be any other way to get a movement because they can't do torque without adding that right, they only have a way of tilting with the aligners. Those buttons give them the ability to apply new forces. So it is what it is. They blend in pretty well too. Okay, so we're done for today.
How long does it take to get the impressions back?
I'll send them into Invisalign, and then within 2 weeks they usually have a computer mock-up of your case. They call it a clean check. That's the name of the program that opens up on Invisalign that shows you like a 3. They basically scan your models into a 3D world, and then they create it like how many aligners it'll take to show your case, and then you can click it button by button, and then it moves the teeth on the 3D software program and shows you. It's called a Clin, CLIN, Clin.
Yeah.
Probably for clinical. They just shorten the word clinical.
Yeah.
Right, and you could see a mock-up of the case. Now, if you're like some doctors I've met, like they are very knowledgeable, and they almost always make adjustments to like the clin check, meaning like can you do this instead of that, and if I see something that I think is like stupid, like you have to come in for adjustments like 3 visits in a row, I'll just be like, why can't we do all these adjustments in one visit just to make it more efficient? And they usually can. So then I wonder like, what schmo on the other end wanted you to come in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, like why don't they make it as efficient as possible? But sometimes they don't. They just do it like whatever way makes most sense to Invisalign. And then if you request, can we do all adjustments in one visit, they usually can accommodate it, and it doesn't affect the results. So every once in a while I do make adjustments to that. Anyway, I send the models in, they create a clin check within 2 weeks. If I accept that, or if I don't, let's say I don't, it takes them a day usually to get back to you. So usually between sending the models in and accepting a clin check, you're looking at 2 to 3 weeks. And then fabrication, 2 more weeks. So usually it's a month. If you average it all out, it's usually about 4 weeks from the time you send it in, and it all depends on how busy Invisalign is at that moment.
So around April, I should be getting trays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should be starting the beginning of April.
All right. Well, tell everybody where to find you.
Being on the internet, they can look me up.
Everything.
Well, we're in the Bronx right now at 1425 East Gun Hill Road. I feel weird looking right at your phone. Maybe I should take this off. But you can go to drrosendds.com or nycdent.com because we have 10 locations. And we are in the Bronx today at 1425 East Gun Hill Road, 718-671-0480. And for those of you who live in Brooklyn, I am at Cal Gardens at 718-834-1446 on Court Street, 402 Court Street. All right, we'll see you all soon.